Hell's Kitchen isn't just about cooking, it's about surviving pressure when everything starts to fall apart. Over the years, this kitchen has witnessed shouting matches, broken confidence, and moments where discipline completely collapsed. Tempers flare, teamwork crumbles, and even the strongest chefs lose control as the heat rises. One mistake can trigger absolute chaos, turning a simple service into a full-blown disaster. These are the moments that define Hell's Kitchen: raw, intense, and unforgettable. Today, we're counting down 10 times Hell's Kitchen turned into pure chaos, where stress took over and nothing went according to plan. Before the shouting, before the breakdowns, and before the chaos takes over, there's one question every chef faces in Hell's Kitchen: can you survive the pressure? In this video, you'll uncover how high-stakes cooking turns discipline into disorder. Revealing lesser-known moments where tension quietly built before exploding, we'll break down what really happens when timing slips, communication fails, and control is lost, moments viewers often miss. If you want to understand how pressure exposes true character and why these chaotic moments are unforgettable, watch till the very end. Welcome to the world of high pressure, where Hell's Kitchen becomes discipline versus chaos. Before we talk about the shouting, the mistakes, or the blame that follows, it's important to understand how time becomes the real enemy inside Hell's Kitchen. Every second is measured, every delay feels heavier than the last, and the clock never shows mercy. Chefs aren't just racing to cook, they're racing their own thoughts, trying to stay sharp while exhaustion creeps in. Under that pressure, focus begins to fracture. Small hesitations turn into panic, and simple decisions suddenly feel impossible. As time slips away, mental fatigue builds quietly. Orders stack up, voices overlap, and the margin for error disappears. Even experienced chefs find their hands shaking, not from lack of skill, but from the weight of expectations pressing down on them. The fear of falling behind triggers rushed movements, forgotten steps, and emotional reactions that spiral out of control. Time pressure doesn't just test speed. It attacks confidence, clarity, and emotional balance, pushing chefs toward breakdowns they never saw coming. Before we talk about mistakes on the plate, we have to look at what happens when teamwork starts to fall apart. Hell's Kitchen demands perfect coordination, where every station depends on the next. But under pressure, communication weakens. Instructions go unheard, timing falls out of sync, and assumptions replace clear calls. One chef moves ahead while another falls behind, creating gaps that grow with every second. As coordination collapses, frustration spreads through the kitchen, turning collaboration into confusion and transforming a structured system into controlled chaos driven by misalignment rather than skill. Before we talk about broken dishes or raised voices, we need to understand how anger clouds judgment in Hell's Kitchen. When tempers flare, decisions are no longer driven by logic but by emotion. Chefs rush steps they would normally perfect, ignore feedback, and double down on mistakes instead of correcting them. A single angry reaction can derail an entire station, forcing others to adjust and lose rhythm. Under intense pressure, frustration turns into impulsive choices, and those split-second decisions often create bigger problems than the original mistake ever did. Before we talk about complete kitchen meltdowns, we have to look at what happens when leadership starts to slip. In Hell's Kitchen, strong leaders keep chaos contained, setting the pace and calming the room. But under relentless pressure, even confident voices begin to waver. Orders become unclear, authority fades, and teammates stop trusting direction. When leaders lose control, uncertainty spreads fast, leaving chefs unsure who to follow. Without firm guidance, discipline cracks, timing unravels, and the kitchen drifts closer to disorder with every passing second. Before we talk about full-scale disasters, it's important to see how one small mistake can quietly set everything off. In Hell's Kitchen, a misstep or a delayed plate rarely stays isolated. That single error forces adjustments across multiple stations, throwing timing out of balance. Chefs rush to compensate, cutting corners they normally wouldn't, and pressure multiplies. What starts as a minor slip quickly turns into confusion, frustration, and overlapping problems. Each reaction feeds the next, creating a chain effect where control becomes harder to regain with every second. Kitchen confidence isn't just a personality trait, it's a survival tool. These are chefs who've trained for years, led kitchens, and mastered their craft. Yet the environment slowly chips away at that certainty. The pressure doesn't arrive all at once. It builds through long services, constant evaluation, and the awareness that every move is being watched, judged, and remembered. Doubt often starts quietly. A single correction from the past, a moment of hesitation, or a dish sent back can linger longer than it should. Strong chefs replay that moment in their minds while trying to keep pace, and that mental distraction becomes costly. Instead of cooking instinctively, They begin to second-guess decisions they would normally make without hesitation. Timing feels uncertain, seasoning feels risky, and confidence gives way to caution. What once felt natural now feels fragile. Before we talk about dishes going wrong, we need to understand how ego can quietly poison a kitchen. In Hell's Kitchen, confidence is necessary, but when it turns into ego, collaboration suffers. Chefs stop listening, defend mistakes, and prioritize being right over being effective. Small disagreements escalate as pride takes control, turning simple feedback into personal attacks. As egos clash, communication breaks down and teamwork weakens. The kitchen shifts from a shared mission to individual battles, where control and validation matter more than timing and precision. Before we talk about burnt dishes or missed orders, we need to see what happens when pressure shuts down thinking entirely. In Hell's Kitchen, the intensity of the environment can overwhelm even the most skilled chefs. Decisions that are normally automatic become impossible to make. Timing slips, multitasking fails, and creativity disappears under the weight of expectation. The mind freezes just as the kitchen demands speed, turning simple tasks into monumental challenges. When thinking stops, instinct takes over. But instinct alone can't solve everything. And that's when chaos quietly spreads through every station. Before we talk about ruined dishes or shouting matches, we need to examine how blame spreads when chaos hits. In Hell's Kitchen, mistakes happen fast. And under pressure, pointing fingers becomes a defense mechanism. Chefs shift responsibility to others to protect themselves, and small errors quickly escalate into arguments. Trust erodes as teammates focus more on avoiding fault than solving problems, and coordination collapses. One person's slip can ignite a chain of accusations, turning a high-pressure environment into a tense battlefield. Instead of working together, the kitchen becomes a place where suspicion and frustration dominate. Before we talk about what happens after the yelling and the tension, we need to understand the moment when an entire service collapses. In Hell's Kitchen, a service is a finely tuned machine. Every order, every plate, every timing matters. But when mistakes pile up, communication fails, and pressure overwhelms the team, that machine can break entirely. Chefs rush, stations fall out of sync, and dishes arrive late, cold, or incomplete. The energy that once drove efficiency turns into panic, and instead of problem solving, everyone scrambles to keep up. When a service fails completely, the chaos becomes visible in every corner of the kitchen. The head chef's voice grows louder, not because the team isn't trying, but because guidance has lost its effect. Chefs stop trusting each other, coordination collapses, and mistakes feed into more mistakes. Timing is gone, plating suffers, and the orders stack up like an unmanageable mountain. Even experienced chefs struggle to recover once everything spirals, and the sense of control disappears entirely. In these moments, Hell's Kitchen shows the raw intensity of high-stakes cooking, how quickly skill and experience can be overshadowed by pressure, emotion, and cascading errors. From shouting matches to total kitchen meltdowns, these moments show that Hell's Kitchen isn't just about cooking, it's about pressure, teamwork, and human limits. Each breakdown, mistake, and clash is unforgettable because it reveals the true character of the chefs under fire. If you enjoyed seeing how discipline turns into chaos, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more intense, behind-the-scenes stories. And stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll dive into the most shocking chef rivalries and secret strategies that fans rarely see. You won't want to miss it.